Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a quick Copic coloring video for you using the Simon Says Stamp Beautiful Flowers stamp set. Here is a look at the card that we'll be making today, and let's get into the products. So I've got the Beautiful Flowers stamp set. I love this stamp set. It's got this huge flower in image and then some great sentiments that go along with it. And other than that, I've got a piece of Neenah Solar White 110 pound to use, some Gina K amalgam ink, which is Copic safe, and a bunch of Copic markers. So here are the markers that I used. Just going to pause on that so that you can see the markers. Now let's put this away and get into the stamping and coloring. So I've got my Misty here. And I am going to take my piece of Neenah Classic Crest Solar White, 110 pounds, take out the big floral image from that and position it down. Now, the floral image is huge. It's just about 6 inches. So no matter what, it's going to hang off of your average card size. So if you use, a standard A2 card size, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, this stamp is going to hang off. So I wasn't too concerned. I knew that I was going to miss some of those leaves on the edge, and I was okay with that. What I really want is those big flowers in the middle. Using a little microfiber towel to press down on the Misty door makes it just easier to glide along instead of just using my hand. So again, using that towel, stamping it down. It's a very large image, and so I want to make sure that I get a good impression. Stamping down, and looks like I'm going to have to go one more time. So ended up inking this one up 3 times just to make sure that I had a good impression. There's a lot of little lines on this stamp set, but for somebody like me that is not overly confident with my Copic coloring, it's really great to be able to see where that shading goes. So stamping that down a 4th time to get that center, using some Brutus Monroe Squeaky Clean cleaner to get that amalgam ink off of that stamp. I'm scrubbing away, but also knowing that, it's a high quality stamp and that it's going to stain. So now I'm just setting up to do my coloring using the kind of dark pink tones first. These are all from the RV family. I know it's a little bit hard to see. Sorry, my lights are glaring. But taking that RV 59 and just adding that shading where there is lines already. Like I said, I'm not a great Copic colorer. Light sources and shadows and things like that can be really tricky to figure out. And so it's nice on a stamp set like this, where on some level, it's kind of already shown to you. So it's easy to just put your darkest colors where there is shadows, where you think that there might be shadows, blending it out with my medium color now, and then I'll go in with my lightest. This makes it really, really easy. And that way I know it's not going to look silly. I'm going to have the colors in the areas where they should be. And, I doubt any recipient of any card is ever going to criticize coloring, but you just never know. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So now I'm going to go in with my lightest shade and just blend everything out. I'm not careful about this. I'm just trying to lay the color down. In this instance, I was running off to an engagement party and just really needed to get this done. Realizing that there had been a petal that I had completely forgotten to shade, going back in with the medium and then picking back up where I left off with the light color. So like I said, I was running late to an engagement party. I needed to get this done. So I started coloring. The friend's engagement party that I made this card for, she is probably one of the people that appreciates my handmade cards the most. Like we'll go to a friend's birthday dinner or something, and I'll give them their gift, and she's always asking, "Did you make the card? Can I see the card?" She's so sweet and very, very supportive of me. So I could not show up to this party without a handmade card. And so just wanted to get some quick Copic coloring done. Moving on to the next flower, and I'm using V20s. So this is violet. That one that I'm using now is, I believe, V25. Again, just following wherever there were dark areas, that's where I colored in for the dark colors. I did a little bit of flicking, nothing fancy. I've never taken a Copic class. All of the Copic coloring that I know how to do comes from watching people's videos. I watch a lot of Christina Warner for Copic coloring inspiration, a lot of Kelly Latavola. She's amazing and does beautiful coloring, very detailed work. She is a true artist and teaches you how and talks you through the process and makes it really, really easy. She's also a hilarious storyteller, and so I always really appreciate hearing her stories. Going in with another flower that I'm going to color in that same purple shade, kind of making it symmetrical. And following along where the dark shadows are. Again, this stamp set makes it really easy. And I think if you are looking to better your coloring or learn where shadows go, I find flowers especially hard if it's just a lined image with no detail. This one makes it really, really easy. So if you're a beginner, look for stamp sets that have that detail. I feel like a lot of Gina K stamp sets have a good amount of detail, so you would be able to see where the shading goes and make it just a teensy bit easier for you as you're starting out. Also, I will say all of this coloring is sped up. This took me longer in real life than you are seeing. So please keep that in mind as well. Going in now and adding a little bit of yellow to the centers of those flowers with a Y13 marker. It's a nice bold yellow. I wanted it to stand out amongst these colors. Finally realizing that I had left off that petal. If you've been watching and staring at it, so have I. I will eventually realize all these things, but just adding in the color back to that flower while I have my purple markers out. Moving on to more pinks, back to those pinks. Actually, these are different pinks from the pink that is that center flower. That center flower is with RV markers, and these are just R markers. I also find it easy if you are a beginning Copic colorer. They sell sets of 3 blending sets. I usually buy mine off Amazon. It's the cheapest place that I've found those sets. Usually a set of 3 goes from anywhere between like $15 and $20, making them a good deal for each, because I know nowadays a lot of places are selling Copics for like $8 a piece. So it makes it a pretty good deal. And that way you know which colors blend together. Again, makes it really, really easy. I'll link to some of those sets down below. Going in and coloring these leaves with a set of greens, I do remember specifically that I got these 3 in a set, so I'll be sure to link this one. I really like this trio of green. I love that G40 shade. It's really nice. I tend to be drawn to more pastel shades in coloring, in my wardrobe, in my house, the colors that I decorate with. And so I really love this set of greens. I feel like a lot of the other greens that I have are more green yellow shades, and that's fine if you want something a little bit bolder, but most of the time I want something that looks a little bit more pastel. Coloring in all the leaves and those little buds, because those are closed up, they would probably still have the green around them, and so coloring those in green. And you can see right now, I mean, this is messy. I am just coloring along, trying to make this quick. No flicking, nothing fancy. Just trying to add in a little bit of dimension here and there. Once I have the coloring done, the card does come together pretty quickly. Coloring any stems that I've missed, and then I'll go in with that lightest shade, which is kind of a minty tone, I would say. But again, I'll have this specific marker set and any others that I can find linked down below for you off of Amazon. The nice thing too about Amazon, if you're a Prime member, they come very quickly. It's not like you're waiting for your craft supplies to come. I know some companies ship out really quickly in, our industry, different stamp companies, but nobody ships faster than Amazon. So, it's nice that you'd be able to get them really quickly. Okay. So now that our image is colored, I'm going to take one of the Lawn Fawn stitched rectangles. This is the largest rectangle, I believe, and cut out my image, just trying to place that where I think it's going to look best, but also leave room on the top for a sentiment. So just going to get that squared up, tape it down, and then run it through my die cutting machine. Here it is out of my die cut machine, peeling off the tape gently because I don't want to ruin the project that I've just worked on. And here is the final card. All I did was just added a simple sentiment to the top using some heat embossing and colored cardstock. Again, like I said, it came together really quickly. If you want to see more from me, click to subscribe or click to watch another video. Thanks so much.